The opening of this week's Parashat Kedoshim has an instruction that seems to be the most challenging perhaps in the entire Torah. Daber el kol adat bnei Yisrael ve'amarta alehem kedoshim tihiyu ki kadosh ani Hashem Elokechem. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the entire congregation of the children of Israel and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Now the reasoning the Torah gives seems to be strange. Be holy because I'm holy? What type of reason is this? Imagine Elon Musk tells you, become a billionaire because I'm a billionaire. What's the connection? Would that make sense? So if we can't compare ourselves to Musk, who's only a human, you want us to compare ourselves to God himself? The Hasidic masters explained that yes, indeed, precisely because God is holy, we can be holy. And why? Because we are created in God's image, and he imparted some of that holiness onto us. In 1961, the Rabbi shared a very powerful insight. He told a story of a king who once decided to reward a peasant who had done him a great service with a great reward. What should I give him? A sack of gold? A bag of pearls? Thought the king. No, these mean nothing to me. I want to give something that I truly appreciate, something I will miss, a gift that constitutes a sacrifice for me. Now this king had a nightingale who sang the sweetest songs a human ear had ever heard. He treasured the bird over everything else. He literally found life unbearable without it. So he summoned the peasant to his palace and he gave him the bird. This, said the king to the peasant, is an appreciation for your loyalty and devotion. Thank you, said the peasant, and took the bird to his home. A while later, the king was passing through the peasant's village. So he told his coachman, stop the carriage, I want to visit the peasant. He knocked on his door and said, no, how are you enjoying my gift? Truth to tell you, said the peasant, the bird's meat was quite tough. It was even inedible, but I cooked it with some potatoes and it gave the stew an interesting flavor. Our greatest mistake, the Rabbi explained, is that we don't realize who we really are and we don't appreciate our true inherent value. We see ourselves merely as a collection of sinews, bones, and flesh, like the peasant saw the nightingale. Perhaps the greatest obstacle to us living a wholesome, holy, and sanctified life is our belief that we are unholy, that we are tainted, unworthy, sinful, lowly, egotistical, and impure. So when the Torah states, you be holy, for I, God, am holy, it's giving us a perspective on the very definition of who you is. You are a part of me. Your soul is a fragment of the divine. And a part is just like the whole. So you are as holy as me. You and I are really one. And if I'm holy, it means that you are holy. This is, by the way, the reason why before we do a mitzvah, we declare, Asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav. Hashem made us holy. What gives us the ability and the power to do the mitzvah is the fact that we are part of Hashem and we are inherently holy. This, if so, is the message of this week's parasha. Kedoshim tihiyu, you shall be holy because I am holy. You are part of me. Don't sell yourself for cheap. Don't give up on yourself, on your holiness, on your royalty, on your majesty, on your godliness, on your potential to be holy. You can be just like me, says Hashem. Why? Because you and I are one. Shabbat Shalom.